Hey YouTube, welcome back. My name's Dave. May the Schwartz be with you. This is my little cooking segment. As you can see, I'm representing Food Wars. If you know about Food Wars, go ahead and like this video before we even get started. Basically, today I'm going to show you how to make a green bean casserole. But this is a little bit different, not your typical green bean casserole that you see on the recipes of cans or whatever around holiday time. This is a level 3 recipe. How many levels are there? I don't know. I'm just saying it's harder than the others we made, which was the cranberry fig chutney. So check that out if you haven't already. I'm just throwing in a couple more recipes around this time of year because we got Thanksgiving right around the corner. Then we got Christmas and other holiday dinners that are coming up. So this is something that you can make as a side dish, and it's really, really, I promise you, it's going to blow you away. And there's a couple more steps involved, but well worth the effort. There's no animal products in this particular recipe, so if you have vegan family or friends or vegetarian, whatever, this will be something they can enjoy as well. You can make this recipe 1 or 2 days in advance and then pop it in the fridge, and I'll show you at what point you want to stop and then go ahead and cover it and keep it in the fridge. And then when you're ready, just put the final item on, top it off, and then throw it in the oven, and you can bake it then. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, so one of the first things you're going to want to do is go ahead and soak your cashews. If you can, try and soak them overnight, but if not, minimum of 1 to 2 hours beforehand is fine too. But just go ahead and drain the liquid and then set those aside. And then you're going to get your green beans and go ahead and wash and rinse those and then chop them into about 2 to 3 inch pieces and set those aside. For the mushrooms, I recommend getting, if you can, a jar of shiitake mushrooms. This here is 6 ounces drained, but basically you're looking for getting about a pound of mushrooms if you can. They didn't have fresh shiitake mushrooms at the grocery store, so I just picked up some baby bellas, but that'll work too. For the yellow onion, just go ahead and dice or chop that up, and we'll set that aside as well. And then for the garlic, this is about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic, depending on the size, and then just go ahead and mince those up and set it aside. Now when we're making the cream-based sauce, we're going to go ahead and put the cashews in there. And the reason that I recommend soaking them overnight is because they'll be softer and easier to make into a creamy sauce versus if they haven't soaked as long, it'll be a little more gritty, just won't be as smooth as far as the consistency. So with the jar of mushrooms, I'm going to drain all of the mushroom broth from there, and this gave about a half a cup of liquid, and then I'm just going to top off the difference to make 2 cups. So basically 2 cups of liquid, whether it's water, broth, however you want to do it, and then go ahead and add in the 2 teaspoons of corn starch. That's going to help thicken this sauce up. And you're going to blend it for quite a while. I think I blended this for like 2 or 3 minutes before turning it off, and that's going to allow it to be nice and creamy and consistent throughout the sauce. Next, we're going to go ahead and prep the herbs. So this is fresh thyme, and a little trick here is to take the leaves off. If you just actually run your finger down opposite the direction of the leaves, they come off super easy rather than sitting there and trying to pluck them all individually. So it's one pro tip for you. And just go ahead and mince that up as well. For the dried parsley, I just grab like a teaspoon of it and mash it between my fingers and kind of grind it into a finer powder, and then add that in there as well. So before you get started, we definitely want to steam the green beans, and you just want to steam them long enough to where they're tender but still kind of firm. You don't want them to be mushy because we're still going to bake this towards the end. Once your green beans are finished, then we can go ahead and get started. So I'm using a big wok just because the size to hold everything. It's one of the larger pans that I have, but you can use any type of stainless steel or non-stick, whatever. But just go ahead and add in the olive oil, using about 1 or 2 tablespoons, and then throw in the onions. And we're gonna brown these for a while. This is on medium heat. We're just gonna let those cook down until they start to get some browning on them. And then once that's right about this color is what you're looking for, that helps bring out some of the natural sweetness. And then go ahead and add in the garlic and just kind of cook that in for about a minute. And then we're going to add in the mushrooms, both the jarred mushrooms, the shiitake, and then also the baby bellas, and just kind of cook that down. It's going to take you a couple minutes. Once everything has kind of reduced, then we're going to add a little bit of water. You can use white wine or whatever to deglaze the pan is essentially what we're doing, but I just used a little bit of water. And then we're going to toss in some salt and pepper. I didn't really measure the salt out, so just to taste, if I had to guess, it's probably about maybe 2 teaspoons of salt, just rough estimating, maybe a tablespoon of salt, and then pepper to taste. And then we're going to go ahead and add in the herbs and get that all mixed in well. And next thing we're going to do is add the cream sauce. So just go ahead and dump all that in and get that incorporated. And then we're going to throw in the green beans. We're going to mix that up nice and well. Now, once that's done, we're going to go ahead and pour it into a baking dish and just kind of smooth it out. Okay, this is the step where if you are going to make this, in advance, you want to stop here. So just let this cool down to about room temp, and there's no animal product, so it's fine. You can let it rest and then go ahead and cover it with foil or saran wrap and toss it in the fridge until you're ready to go to the next step. So let's say the day or two goes by, and then you would just pick up from here. So what we basically are doing is adding the French onions on top. You just want to kind of layer that, smooth it out, make it as even as possible, and put a little bit of paprika. If you had any other seasoning you wanted to add to the top, you could do this as well at this point. And you're going to preheat the oven to 350. We're going to toss that in and let it bake for 30 minutes. Once it's done, just go ahead and remove it, let it cool down a bit, and you're good to go. All right, there it is, level 3, food for dudes. You can do it. I have confidence in you. You might have some dishes afterwards, but that's going to be regardless no matter what you do, unless you're making PB&Js for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Let me know what you guys think. Try it out. After you've tried it out, let me know what your friends, your family, your loved ones, that significant other, whoever it may be, let me know what they have to say. And when they ask about it, send them back to my video, share it with your friends, like this video, and also more importantly, please subscribe to my channel. That helps me out a lot. I'm trying to hit my first 100 subs. Every one of you counts, and I really do appreciate it. So I just want to say again, thanks for watching my channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, may the Schwartz be with you. Take care.